Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. Wow, we know now what the big announcement was for Stellar and IBM. Jesse Lund had been leaking some information over the course of the last month and a half, and I think built a lot of hype. I was expecting something really big because that was the way he was making it sound. But we find out that this is nothing more than 6 banks who have signed letters of intent to work on the protocol that IBM is using in conjunction with Stellar's technology. So it's a straight through model is how they explain it for cross-border payments, and they're using the Stellar protocol. And it's still being attached to fiat. So in regards to these stable coins, like we learned when JP Morgan announced their stable coin, there isn't going to be any interoperability. So I just don't understand what it is that they're thinking. And in addition to these stable coins, they're still pending final approval from the regulators, as these banks are stating. So we have a bank that is the Bando Bandesco in Brazil. We have the Pusan Bank in South Korea, the Rizal Commercial Bank, which is a Chinese bank in the Philippines, along with 3 unnamed banks, but they will be using the euro and the Indonesian rupiah. Wow. Let's just go back again to what Mr. Garlinghouse said about these stablecoins. It was when we learned about the JP Morgan coin, he said that we're going to have all these different coins. He was right. And we're back to where we are. There's lack of interoperability. He couldn't be more correct. One bank having its coin tied to its local fiat is not going to be used. I mean, and what's the purpose, actually? Because that's the whole beauty of XRP, is that it's not tied to a local currency. And there is no competition with the banks who decide to use XRP. So I think that's what really everybody needs to understand. This announcement was really a lot to do about nothing. There is, however, 300 and some speakers at the Money 2020 in Singapore, and they have 6 stages going at once. There's going to be a lot of additional announcements coming out. I think Ashish Burla spoke earlier today, and you can find out what's going on by either going to the Twitter site, because they do have some snippets in video, or you can access this money2020.tv site on YouTube. And no doubt we're going to learn a lot about what is happening in the space. Okay, yesterday I talked about a very interesting kind of secret project that Visa was doing, and it's a crypto team that they're building. So the crypto team is not a secret, but actually what they're going to do is still quite unknown, very much like Facebook is building their crypto team, but we don't know exactly. We don't have the details. We have just some ideas and rumors as to what they're doing. But somebody had left a comment in the comment section that Earthport was no longer a partner of Ripple and that they'd been taken off their website. However, that's just not the case. I'm on the Ripple website now, and you can see with the listing of Earthport, they're still there. And this is very current too. You can see that BTech is listed. That's a new partner, and Instarem is on here, and that's a new partner. So Earthport is a very interesting partner, and since they're becoming acquired by Visa, it is really, I think, a big story for Ripple and XRP. The partnership, a collaboration, actually started back in 2014, and then it was in 2016 that Earthport launched the distributed ledger hub And you can see here that in this partnership, Earthport announced the launch of an API that makes the bank's connection to Ripple for cross-border payments more convenient and accessible for smaller institutions. And I can also go back to an article that was written on the iTreasure just May of last year. And this is when Stuart Wilson, who's a very interesting guy, actually. He spent 13 and a half years with American Express, but at this time he was with Earthport, and he talks about that leveraging Ripple ensures that all parties in the transaction have a pre-signed agreement to exchange funds recorded in a resilient, tamper-proof shared ledger. And this allows Earthport to execute the financial transfer with full confidence, and blockchain technology excels at bringing transparency to agreements between institutions and participants, so he said. So we know that they were still very active with using Ripple's technology just in May. So that is why I am very much interested in this acquisition that Visa is making, especially now since they are also building a crypto team. And here we go with further clarification on what the government is going to do here. So there were two reasons why Mr. Kitao of SBI decided to hold off on in doing the margin trading and putting in the live board. And here we see that Japan has further come along with defining the new regulations for margin trading. So yesterday, the Nikkei reported that the amendments to Japan's financial instruments and payment service laws is going to move forward, and they're going to limit the leverage of cryptocurrency margin trading to 2 to 4 times the initial deposit. And that, of course, is all about when you use borrowed funds from a broker to trade a financial asset, thus forming a collateral for the loan. And it's very high risk, and there are exchanges right now in Japan that are doing up to 25 times or even higher. I'm not sure, but I know for sure 25 times. And the government is a little concerned with the safety for the trader, and also they, with a light hand, are trying to get more consistency among the exchanges in Japan, and they are pushing for that to be defined. And that really was a true gray area and lack of clarity, because it's in the middle of being changed right now, which is why the SBI VC trade site kind of had some delay. So that is good that we're seeing it come to a more clear situation. It's actually interesting. In this article, it says that the new rule will be reportedly coming into force April 2020. So they'll give the exchanges some time to make their changes. But the fact that they are going to decide on exactly how high the margin trading can go is what Mr. Kitao needed. And speaking of SBI Holdings, this is an interesting story. So it has legs. It actually started back in 2017 when SBI led a round of funding for a company in the United States. And that company is called Bcause. Now, Bcause knew that cryptocurrency wasn't just an asset. They also knew that it acted as a currency and, more importantly, a stock. And that means that it is an asset that can be traded. So with this investment that was led by SBI, SBI took a 40% holding of Bcause LLC, and they also provided a significant amount of gear to their co-location in Virginia Beach for mining. And they do have an office in Chicago, Illinois, but they also operate, I think, their mining farm in Virginia Beach. So you can see here that Mr. Kitao is quoted as saying that it is important to have a long-term relationship that will advance the development and widespread use of digital currencies around the world. And this investment was going to and did provide them to be the first U.S. regulated designated contracts market exchange in the cryptocurrency derivatives market in the United States. And soon they went on their way to build this ecosystem. So the ecosystem has 4 areas: digital mining, spot trading, derivatives exchange, and a clearinghouse. And they want to be the one-stop shop for all parts of digital currency value chain. And you can see their operations are in Chicago. So they went on their way, they were building, and we just learned from a tweet on the 13th of March that news alert, NASDAQ tells us that Bcause LLC, the creator of the world's first full stack cryptocurrency ecosystem, will operate on NASDAQ's matching engine, clearing and market surveillance technology via the NASDAQ Financial Framework platform. It's very difficult to become a user of this technology. And what I found most interesting is when you look at the reasons why, it is believed that Bcause believes that a lot of the institutional investors didn't want to come to the space because the market needed to be more mature. It's necessary for companies to have clear control over irregular activities on their platforms. And with NASDAQ's technology, it is possible for companies to understand whether there are individuals laundering money or manipulating the markets. So the digital currencies have been expanding, of course, we know, all over the world, but the infrastructure has remained behind. And institutional investors did not enter the market as many expected in the past. So the main reason is the fact that many things must be enhanced before institutions enter the space. So I think that we're going to see this go live in the first half of 2019. So it's going to be very, very soon. And the startup will become the only venue that works as a one-stop shop for all parts of the crypto value chain. So Mr. Kitao really picked, I think, a very good investment here. It's maybe speculative to think, but possibly he wants to use this technology for his site here. I don't know that, but it makes me think that there is a possibility. All right, and thanks to Bones, 1000 Bones out there, he let me know about the Bitrue promotion. This is interesting. So Bitrue has something that's going to happen for just a 2-week period from March 25th to April 1st. What you do to enter to win these airdrops is you follow and retweet, and then you hold an asset, and it can be any asset, any token or coin on their website of $100 or more, trade at least once during that period of March 25th to April 1st, and there's going to be a lottery of 100 XRP in a random drop for each. So that's kind of a fun promotion. Bitrue is a really great place to get a large selection of XRP trading pairs. And if you are looking for some fun and looking for somebody who has a fantastic selection of trading pairs for XRP, Bitrue is one you want to look at. Okay, everybody, I'm moving to the fluff. We are kind of staying with lottery here. So in Japan, of course, there is Takarakuji, which is the place that you go to buy a scratch off, or you can buy the traditional one that once a week or once every so often they will announce the numbers. And I think there's a lot of people who do lottery here. It seems to there's these lottery sales kiosks everywhere. So obviously people are big fans of lottery here. In addition to the Takarakuji, there's also a very interesting lottery that occurs inside the convenience stores. So the convenience stores will have an end cap and a display on that end cap of items that are chosen through a lottery that you pick out of a box. So it'll have sometimes movie characters, like we see Star Wars. I picked Star Wars because I know that digital asset investor, he loves Star Wars. So I thought, okay, this is for Dai. But it also could be, it could be the Japanese soccer team, and you can buy, or you can choose to have a lottery for little keychains all the way to maybe some jerseys. It always has a lot of small items and then one big prize. I think in this one, it's a down comforter with Darth Vader on it. So you can see it's quite fun, and the lottery system works very well for this business model too. And one more way that we see lotteries in Japan are for the very popular music groups. This is Exile. They are extremely popular, and it's impossible to get their tickets. So they do a lottery through the fan clubs. And this has 19 members in the group. This is actually Nesmith over here. His dad is American, but they are amazing dancers. So they sing, but they dance. And boy, do they dance. If I just show you really quick here, their choreography is unbelievable. So you know there's always a story behind a story, right? And I wanted to find out exactly who it is working with them to bring them into this level of amazing dance. And it is Ria Hata. She is Japanese born, and she is a slice of modern day culture. So, I love traditional culture, but there is a lot more to Japan than just tea ceremony and bonsai. There is a very amazing modern day culture. She is a perfect example of that. And she just today uploaded a Gap commercial or ad that she did with modeling their trench coat. And she is just a piece of cool Japan. I'm telling you, a couple weeks ago, she was at the Ageha, which is a big dance club, 2 stages. It's all about, if you love music and you love dance, this is where you need to go when you come to Tokyo. The venue opens at 11 p.m. and goes till 5 a.m. And she was there in a performance. So she has a huge following, and you can find her on YouTube if you are interested in seeing what she does. She's really special. Okay, everybody, that's all I have for you today. Do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.